Hello, everybody. Welcome to On the Road Again. My
On the
man,
road
my
again.
main man, no other, but they call him L Train, or you could call him the meal ticket, Lamont Middleton. What's up,
Yes,
baby?
yes. What's going on, bro? How you feeling, young blow?
I feel good, man. I feel
Good to
good.
see you. Good to see you, bro. You
Yeah,
already
you
know,
too,
man.
man. You too.
No doubt, no doubt.
Yeah, a lot of people know who you are, of course. But then there's others that don't know exactly who you are. So I want you to go ahead and introduce yourself.
How can I do that, man? I'm Lamont Middleton. I'm from the Bronx, New York City native, Walton High School, St. John's University, and a lot of other places.
Right. Right. So let me get right to this point here, to the part of the show. Let's take it back to where you originated started living. Because I always thought you was from the Bronx, but come to find out you really started in Harlem.
Absolutely, man. 137th Street between Fifth Avenue and Lenox. My mom lived there. That's why I was kind of raised at. My sisters, my brothers, my great grandmother. I was born in Harlem Hospital, so Harlem was like where we at. Then my mom moved to the Bronx, and I was always going back and forth. Went to elementary school, a few early years elementary school in Harlem, PS 137th Street.
Okay.
My older sisters went to like we all went to PS 137th Street,
So
137.
so is Harlem your originally stomping grounds for basketball? Did you start in Harlem playing basketball?
You know what? I was a little bit. You know what I mean? I said PS 137. I meant 97. We was 137th Street, but it was PS 97th Street right there on 135th Street. But yeah, in Harlem, I was young though. I think, I watched my uncles and them play, my uncle Charlie and some of the people play right there, like on 135th Street, over there by Harlem Hospital, behind Harlem Hospital. So always the gauchos in over in the bathhouse during that time and all that. So I was always intimate as playing the basketball, but I've always was distracted away from really focusing on it. So, but I watched it and then going to the Bronx, we played baseball, and then I don't know, in junior high school, I started playing basketball. But
So that's
that's
where
been
you
throughout
really
my life.
okay. So that's where you originally started picking it up as junior high.
Yeah, yeah.
Eh,
I couldn't chew and dribble at the same time.
Right, right. So who was your first coach that really started getting you into this?
Yo, let me tell you something crazy, right? I think uh maybe the first time I played in a tournament somewhere, I played in the 145th Street Lennox Avenue Chip All Stars. And I was just in the stands and they was getting ready to play right there on 145th Street. And then the coach of one of the team, Eric Fogel, rest in peace to him, he said, "Yo, you want to play?" I said, "Play?" I was like, "Yeah, I play so I can be the fifth guy." We go inside, menacing, and I think I was in maybe junior high school or something. That was the first time I picked up playing a tournament in junior high school. And then that's when we probably started playing. I started rocking with you probably with the Valley, sometime around right after that time. You know what I mean? Like right after probably the next summer, that's when I probably started playing. We started playing with the Valley because I was in Sousa around that time, so junior high school. So that's when I started playing.
Right, right. So from junior high school, you was at what junior high school you was in, and what team did you play for at that time besides the Valley? Because everybody really knows you from playing with who? Riverside
The
or
Gauchos.
Gauchos?
Yo, I used to play with everybody. Malik City used to sit out. Yo, they used to be snapping on me, man. Malik used to be snapping on me. Yo, damn, who you playing with now, L? Like, yo, Malik used to be snapping on me. But back then, in middle school was probably like the Bronx Warriors. That's when I first like met Malloy. Malloy was a few years ahead of me. I started playing, Sid, me and Sid was on the same team, and Lloyd was on, the older team. So the Bronx Warriors, my man Floyd. That
Wow. Wow.
was crazy.
Let me bring our other host for the most Hollywood hen to the stage. That's the other host for tonight's show, Hollywood.
What's
How
up,
you
brother?
doing?
Blessings. What's
How you
going on?
doing?
Blessings, brother. What's going on, man? I'm
No
sorry
doubt,
I'm
no
late,
doubt. How
man.
you feeling, brother?
I apologize so much. I was trying to get things going as I'm doing some things in the kitchen, but I appreciate you being on tonight. I heard part of the conversation. You mentioned some honorable names, and I'm just looking forward to hearing your story. And I'm here to enjoy the evening. Appreciate you.
Likewise.
So, from junior high, you went to high school. What high school did you start? Did you go to several high schools?
No, I started at Walton.
Okay. So, you went to Walton High School. And did you play JV or varsity all 4 years?
I played varsity all 4 years. My freshman year was with John Morton. I played with John Morton, was a senior. I remember, the people we used to play against, Robin LeBurry from Clinton. It used to be crazy that year. Kennedy, Pat Jones and them, and Clinton, and DeWan was playing with that. I think DeWan played with that crew. They used to be like, but that's my freshman year.
Okay. So, now, when did you get one of the top point guards in? Well, the funny thing is, this guard that you had on your team, he broke a lot of records in Bronx Community College when he went to college.
No doubt.
I'm going to bring him to the stage so he can help us out with this one. Hello, this is my man John San Giorgio. He was Lamont's point guard at Walton.
Johnny,
Tell-
Round of applause. Round of applause. Round of
yeah,
applause.
yeah, yeah. Tell us something about Lamont at Walton. Your mic, unmute. Unmute yourself.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, here we go. Yeah, got so many stories about Lamont at Walton, man, it ain't even funny. Lamont knows what I'm talking about too. When my first year I played with Lamont, right? And Lamont is my witness here. The first year I played, when me and Lamont played together, when we started the season, we had about 15 guys on the team, right? Then you know what happened, right,
Oh,
cool?
you silly, man.
What happened?
The report cards came out,
Right.
and everybody fell off.
Oh,
Semester.
man.
First
Yep.
semester.
And we played, right? Lamar, then we played the season with like five guys,
Six guys.
maybe
We
six
had
people. Yeah.
Wow, I remember that. That shit was funny.
Yeah. So
And we
we
just
had to
won the
get
game.
two kids from the JV team. We had to get two kids from the JV team, and 4 varsity players. And the crazy thing about it, right, El?
That's when Eddie Green
We
came
just kept winning.
kept winning.
We just kept winning, yo. We was like, I don't remember our record, but I know that year we probably lost maybe about 4 games.
Wow.
And
wow.
the only
That's
game
crazy.
that I
I remember
remember,
that.
Now, is
The
that your senior year?
no, that was our junior year.
Oh, junior year.
Yeah.
Okay.
That was
Yeah, that shit was crazy.
Yeah. And
Is that did you have
remember
Yoda on the
last
team
game,
that year
El.
too?
Huh?
Was Yoda on the team then?
I think Yoda fell off.
Okay.
Everybody fell off, right?
Yeah,
You know what I'm
people
saying?
fell
I think
off.
everybody fell off. And the funny thing about it, right, El? We had a crew.
We had a crew. Mike
We had
Murphy
a
came.
crew.
Mike came back. No, that wasn't the year Mike Murphy came back. That was the senior when Mike came back. But we had a crew though.
Yeah, we had a crew. We had everything.
Spencer Wright. Spencer played with
Yeah,
us. My
we had a
brother.
crew.
Donnell,
Yeah.
Donnell was eligible though, so D was eligible.
Right.
D was eligible. I'm trying to think. I think we had Eddie Green that year. We had Eddie Green that year.
Yeah, we had Eddie Green. R.I.P. Eddie Green. Right?
Man. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But,
Wow.
we had a crew. We had a nice crew.
Well, I know for a fact me playing basketball and going to Evander, when we played Walton, it was damn near a fight every time we played Walton. I don't care what you say. Me and Lamont would elbow. Yo, listen. There's many times me and Lamont elbowed each other. We should never be friends. That's how, and I'm talking about straight going to the jaw with the elbow. Refs, and the funny shit is the refs were letting it go. That's what I'm saying. Back then, when we was balling, it was basketball. I'm talking about physical. You had to be strong. You had to be mentally strong, and you know the refs wasn't just going to give you calls. Only if you played at Walton.
Mm-hmm.
For some apparent reason, the refs called everything for you guys. Yeah. I remember my senior year, and we had y'all with 10 seconds left. I'm on the sideline, standing there for about an hour, and Yoda runs me over, and the ref called blocking and put him on the line, and y'all won the damn game.
Wow.
Do you remember that?
Yeah.
I don't remember
Yo.
that.
I think was that at Evander?
No, that was at your school.
That was at Warren?
Yeah.
Yo,
Yeah, man. It was yo.
I
But
remember it being a close game, though. I definitely remember
Yeah,
it being
yeah.
a close game.
Yeah, it was. And I'm gonna tell you now,
Even
though,
when we
man,
played y'all at y'all school, it was a close game.
it was a close game. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, and pound for pound, you know how when you coming up, you always felt you was better than somebody, no matter what. You know what I'm saying? When you coming up, especially in our era, we always felt we was better than somebody. So I always thought I was better than Lamont, but pound for pound, Lamont was a problem. You hear me? I'm talking about a problem. He was like one of the dudes that I was like, yo, he ain't really got no handle, but you can't take it from him at all. Yo, he had that offhand like a Bruce Lee joint. Wah! And, yeah, that offhand was a wicked thing, boy, I tell you. But yo, so from y'all actually played in the playoffs because y'all beat us and we was out. And y'all played like in the Final Four, and y'all had to go against Stevenson. And that year, Stevenson had a stacked crew. That's when they had Dave Kane.
Mm-hmm.
What's his name that was coaching the big fella? Wasn't he still there? Not Reggie.
Pell?
Not who?
Pell?
Aunt Pell went to. Oh, that's right. Aunt Pell
Pell
was
was
at
there.
Stevenson. Right.
They had Aunt Pell and her team with Dave and Mike Huger.
Yeah.
Lee
Skeeter
Boyd,
Henry.
Skeeter.
Skeeter Henry, yeah.
They had a stacked crew, and y'all almost beat them in that playoff game.
Yo, it used to be so.
The
We
Final
had
Four.
game one.
You know what used to be so crazy. Me and Dave talk about that. Dave used to be like, yo, L, you know what the scouting report used to be? Yo, let L get 30 and we just stop everybody else. That's what he's like, yo, hell with that. Let L get his 30 and his 15 and we gonna stop everybody else. And yo, they had a tough squad, yo. Their squad was crazy tough. So with Will, the only niggas was like all them cats 6'5", 6'4", but you got Dave and them crew there. They used to post Yoda up. Yo.
Right.
Right. Post Yoda up. I used to be like, yo, come on. They used to have a nice crew though. It was a heck of a
Yeah. But we had that game though.
Yeah.
We should have won that game. Right, Al?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. We was up by like 20
Yeah.
and lost. It was crazy.
Oh wow.
Because we came out on fire. I
Right.
remember that game. Yeah, we came out on fire. We went by like at least 15, 20. And they had they had a nice team, but they I just remember what's that little guard they had, Al?
Tate.
They had a
Trent
Tate, Chris,
not Trent.
something Tate.
Chris
Tate, yeah.
He just started hitting threes and shit.
Chris, yeah.
And got them back into the game. You know what I'm saying? And then like Al, you remember they set up some shit like back in the days with remember Hoosiers, the picket fence? where they had set up something with like 4 dudes on at the top of the key, and they like set a screen, and we couldn't even get around the screen.
When they take the ball out,
was like wide open behind that
Yep.
screen, and he just pulled. I remember when he hit that 3, they went up, and then that's when I kind of knew we was in trouble a little bit, because like they just start rolling.
Damn,
But,
John, you bring back
when they went up,
kid.
right when they went up, and we was leading all game, but when they went up, after he hit that 3, it felt like they was up 15. You know what I'm saying? It just felt like I was like, damn, yo, I don't know how we gonna come back from this joint. You know what I'm saying? And you know me, I was like, back then I was blaming everybody. I was like, the refs cheated, you know, because it was crazy. Because didn't that year we only lost like 2 games? Remember?
The Stevenson.
I think we lost about 2 or 3 games, and the only games I remember
the third one
was Stevenson. With Stevenson and Cardinal Hayes. That's the only when we lost them in the championship against Jamal Mashburn.
The other day, we were talking the other day. I was like, yo, that kid Sean Small hit that fucking shot, yo. Like I remember that. They had Jamal was playing with them, Mashburn was playing with them. That was the game. Yeah, we lost that game in City College, and then in Stevenson. That was the only games we lost that year.
Oh, so the because you know we always wanted always wanted public school to play Catholic school. So how did y'all get that game?
Don't start that, man, because I always tell you, your boy, Gordy Winchester. I always tell Gordy he should have came to public school. He went to that Catholic school stuff, and he think he all world. You know what I mean? So I'm like, you came to Catholic, you came to public school, you'd have been a better player. You came and played with me, boy, I'd have made you tougher. So I be killing him about that. But we played Cardinal Hayes because that was in Thanksgiving tournament at City College. So we both made it to the we made it to the championship game. So we played Jamal and in the championship game. They had that's when Demetrius Dudley was there. They had Demetrius Dudley, rest in peace. Rest in peace, Demetrius. They had a crew that year, Sean. They had a crew, Small.
Yeah, they did have a crew. Jamal,
Jamal, Mashburn. So they had a nice crew.
So they pretty much became the super team before super team became popular.
Yeah. But the Bronx was tough back then in Catholic
school. Bronx was tough.
First
of all, the Bronx was tough.
We're not going to do that. We're not going to say was. For the most part.
No, it was.
Yeah, guys,
it was.
We're still tough. We're still tough.
No, we're not talking about we're not talking about physically tough. We're talking about basketball now. Because I'm going to tell you now, these kids out of the Bronx would never be able to play against us at our prime. Never. Zero.
Cool. Just
you should know that too, because when you was talking that crap back when we was playing ball, don't start that conversation.
But I'm the youngin and respected in the crowd of a bunch of legends. However, coming up in the Bronx, where I'm from the Malloy, Future Era, 75 Park, the Hunts Point area, Alders, and Bryan Street, you really had to come correct. And having to earn your spot playing with the OGs, you really had to be a part of something. If you was that 10th person and they let you play, you wasn't getting the ball. So the mental toughness was created only because they wanted to see if you was able just to be on the court. And the fact that you guys set that platform for a lot of ball players even coming after you, I know for myself that I can say that I held my own when my time came. So I wasn't taking that bad shot. I was just making that right play. So if either me, we played in concrete floors back then. These kids now, they have it so easy. Like, I don't understand the prima donnas that are created based on basketball, because a lot of this stuff is just so endorsed, and the support is so much elevated that the stuff that these kids have now, if we had that confidence, we would have been like, all of us would be like, we'd be calling from our like other bedrooms because we'll be make millionaires, like the way that guys are doing it now. Like, they got social platforms, they got publicists. We didn't have that. What we had was this box right here, I say, yo, Kubi, you nice. You say he's nice. I say you're nice, and we just
Unknown
talking to
caller.
each other. We just talking to each other, and the reputation preceded itself based on your last game.
Right. Hold on
And
1 second. We got a special caller in.
okay,
Caller, introduce yourself.
What's good, family? Dave Kane in the building.
DC. What's
Oh,
Ah.
good,
Dave
son?
Kane.
What's up,
Oh
bro?
man.
Good to
What's
hear.
good?
give him a
Hey,
round
yo,
of
happy
applause.
True
Round of
Year, Dave.
applause.
Happy True Year,
Uh,
Steve.
What's good? What's good?
What's good,
Dave,
family?
Dave, thanks for joining us tonight with
No doubt. My bad. I'm a little late, man, but
it's all good, man. It's all good. We just really like talking about the high school era part of Lamont and John and of course
Uh-huh.
yourself being at Stevenson when
Okay.
they almost beat y'all that senior year. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
When y'all was down by 20 at half and came back and won. That's
Word.
what we talk about
Yo,
now.
Dave, that shit hurt me to this day, son.
Hey, man.
Legendary
I'm just
comeback.
doing this going to the garden, baby.
We had their number, man. We had their number.
Yo,
But
yo,
those some good
Dave.
battles, though. Those are some good battles, for sure.
Yo,
Yes,
Dave.
sir.
Let me ask you a question.
What's up?
Yo, what was that play y'all had? That was. Did y'all get that play from Hoosiers? That picket fence?
Yo,
You know what I'm
I
talking
don't know,
about?
man. One thing, yo,
Yeah, I had
I
four
tell
dudes
you all
lined
the
up.
time.
That was crazy.
It's
Yo,
Yo.
Mississippi,
Mr. Post had us running college offense. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Every time I tell the story, I said, man, we was watching film and practicing on Saturdays back then. So he was ahead of his time for sure. Word.
That's crazy.
Wow. Yeah, that was crazy. That was some times, man. Talking
That
how
was some
tough
good
the
wars,
numbers
man.
was and shit. Wow.
Yo,
Let me ask you
but
guys. Let me ask you guys a question. I'm sorry, not to cut you off, but I'm sorry. So, how do you guys feel of the state of basketball from the high school level, college level, moving on to the NBA? How do you guys feel? Is the fundamentals still being taught from when we all played, or
Yeah.
our kids are just that more skilled than us?
You wanna go,
um,
Al? I'll go. Yo, I'm disgusted with it, bro. To be honest with you,
I love it. Thank you.
I don't even watch much basketball. The NBA game looked like a glorified scrimmage half the time. Everybody just running up, pulling from three. Everybody got the green light. Nobody running no plays. There's no defense. I went to the Nets and Bucks game Friday night. I mean, I left in the third quarter. Like, it's just terrible. On down.
He must have had
For
free
example,
tickets.
I went to my high school. I went to my high school game Saturday. Stevenson was playing Lincoln. So live fam, I thought it was a JV game when I walked in, man.
Oh
You know,
wow.
like, so I'm looking like, yo, just what it is. Like, nobody running no plays. There's no everything. It's just terrible, man. I haven't watched too much college because I'm just so turned off. But the high school, my sons play high school, so I'm in tune with that. And then a little bit of the NBA I watch. I'm just not even a fan of the game no more like that, man. To be honest with you.
Okay.
Wow.
Wow.
Next person.
Wow, that's deep.
I think for me personally, when it comes to, I think it's a great line a little bit because I think like now, like in high school, if you one of the top players, how you can basically monetize that. So I support that aspect now. You know what I mean? In a
Okay.
way. But also, it's gonna some way, somehow, perhaps affect the college game because now you a high school kid perhaps get more money than your college coach.
Mm.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's going to be very challenging. You know what I mean? With these
Well,
kids coming from high school
let's
kids.
not negate the fact that you have to have some type of skill to become that type of individual. But overall, in your thought process, what do you think? Have you observed anything that when we were growing up that, like the brother said before, like he feels like when he went to the game, it was a JV. Do you see any, like, any wows? Like, we were built different. So when you see these kids now, they're not working on their game. They're not doing push-ups. They're not doing any sit-ups. They're not doing a suicide. The first thing my coaches will tell me, if you come into the gym and you shoot a jump shot, you're not working on your game. It should be the
You
free
know
throw
what,
line or a
brother?
layup.
It seems like the more talented they get, the less the IQ of the game is. And I've been
Exactly.
telling my sons that too. Like the better y'all get, the more y'all stop doing the little things.
Right.
And that's in the NBA. Like the NBA might be at an all-time high as far as just talent. But the IQ of the game, knowing what's a good shot, time score. Like I'm telling my son, look at Westbrook. He in year 13. He still don't understand time score, a good shot, whatever. And it's just the state of the game. Everybody playing and everybody getting stats. But like just the smart basketball, that's non-existent right now.
Yeah,
But don't you
that's
think
true.
that? Don't you think that's the follow through with just access? We had limited access to watching our favorite basketball players because now these kids have the access and resources to watch their favorite players. They mimic bad behavior, so you can always
Yeah.
duplicate bad behavior rapidly versus understanding the game from a fundamental standpoint and saying, "Listen, I'm gonna go work on my left hand. I'm gonna go work on my
You,
bank shot. I'm gonna work on my
because,
layup. I'm
because
gonna work on my footwork."
you know why they got the bad habits? Because it's the bad behavior that's being rewarded. You know what I'm saying? I told a guy the other day, like up here in Circus, my sons they play. Only thing they put in the paper is how many points you scored. They don't keep track of hardly like assists like that, turnovers, steals, rebounds. So these kids like, what am I doing the blue collar work for? None of that's getting acknowledged. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
You know what I
So
think?
now everybody like, yo, I'm just trying to score. I just want to score, and I just want to get threes up because that's the quickest way to score.
That's what I was just about to say. I was just at a high school game yesterday night, and kids had wide open lanes to the basket, but they would step back behind the 3-point line and shoot the three. They
That's
had like
crazy.
a mid-range jumper right there at the foul line or the elbow. They wouldn't take it. They had to step back and go behind that 3-point line. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Like
yeah.
It's
these
crazy.
kids, these kids don't know 3-point shooting is kind of like a psychological thing. You know what I'm saying?
Bro, let me tell you this,
It's an
man.
art.
I seen. I was at the Nets game the other night. The dude pump fake. Dude flew by him. He stepped in. The dude flew by him. He stepped back behind the line into the defense to shoot. But on the lower level, I blame the coaches, man, because kids only gonna get away with what you let them get away with.
Yeah, yeah,
So
definitely.
like when I was coaching, I'm telling my team, none of y'all shoot good enough to be hunting no threes. Now, if you get it on the swing, let it go, or inside out, let it go. But you got to be like, I'm that old school coach. Like, bro, what are you doing? Right? You don't shoot like that. Come on,
Right.
sit down. Come
Right.
on, sit down and think about it.
Come on, sit down. Exactly.
Yeah, 'cause everybody
No
think
doubt.
they can shoot, and I'm like, no, bro. You got to be a shooter to pull up on in transition from three on
Exactly.
my team.
Exactly.
Right.
Yep.
So
I'll
now,
take that too. I'll take that too any day.
yeah,
Yeah,
I'll take
yeah,
the
yeah.
old, I'll take the
It's
old
a
fashioned
good
three.
tool. A good
I'll
tool.
take
I
the
love it.
I'll take
I'll
the
go
old
for a
fashioned
good
three.
two.
Right. Yes, sir.
I'll definitely take that old fashioned three all day.
And I'm saying that they don't even shoot like that to be taking it. So you're not gonna be on my team so much you can make 2 out of 10 and you pulling up in transition. That's not gonna happen. Not gonna
Somebody, you
happen
a
on my
shooter,
team.
right?
Yeah, somebody I made
In
that. Nah, bro.
transition. In
In
transition.
In
transition, like
transition.
That's the
yo,
worst part. The worst
yeah, turn
percentage
down
shot
the lane to the basket to
is
stop and pop.
to
Like
Yeah.
you
is
like
to
that.
shoot a
I seen
three-pointer
that so
in
many times,
transition.
man. And I was
So
like I
you
said, I
know,
was at a high school game yesterday night, and I was like, wow, these kids don't want to score no points.
but now
Because
the coach,
you
because you
gotta
know
get
why?
I always thought you gotta get the easy baskets before you step.
Bro,
You
To
don't
win the
start
game.
out shooting threes, right?
bro,
Right.
these
You get
coaches
a
got
couple
it.
of
These
layups first.
coaches,
You get a couple of free throws. Get your
nah.
confidence up. Then you step behind the 3-point line.
Nah, man. These coaches got to be willing to lose to teach. So
Right.
it's like, yo, but are you
Right.
trying to teach or you just trying to win at any cost?
They
Like
trying to
me, I'll
win.
go
No,
0-20 to teach
the
you the right
problem
way.
Right.
the
Because you're gonna learn
the
it.
problem is a lot of these coaches get voted in based on popularity. He's a nice guy. He's for the community.
And
Our
then some of
coaches,
them
when
go
we
for
saw,
just that stipend too.
Yeah, that too. Up
well,
here, a
I
lot of
mean,
That too.
let's understand what the overall business is and the academic programs are. A lot of these coaches come in with no resources or no knowledge. You and I coach together.
Yeah.
We did that with and we did it with kids who who struggle
Never
with this
played.
behavior.
Never.
They never
Right.
played basketball. Was still able to go and play in Westchester Coliseum and have those kids be able to display their talents because people always turn their back on them. And the
Right.
fact of the matter is that when I was playing, I was just that fundamental type of person. I learned the game the right way. So that taking that three, I mean, we all play recreational basketball. We doing open rec, we playing around, we laughing, we shooting and stuff. And you might take a shot, but I would expect one of you five to hold me accountable for and say, "Listen, you wildin'.
Right.
Yo, why you?"
Yeah,
Right.
Even I'm
that's
not
half the
running back and
problem
forth for
too.
no reason, but
Man,
I'm
these
be like, you
kids
know
will
what?
not.
My bad.
Nah, these kids do not address each other. I coached for 4 years, and I had a great group of kids, really good team. But getting these kids to open their mouth, oh my god! I'm saying, so you just gonna run up and down? Don't even tell him he missed you. So why would he give it to you the next time if you don't let him know he missed you? Like, and I'll let them know if y'all don't resolve it, I'm not gonna get involved until you try to resolve it.
Right.
Right.
Yeah, yep.
So now let's move on to the years of after high school. Lamont graduated, and you went to what university right away?
I mean, after I left St. John's, actually, it was crazy when I think about
No, after you left Walton,
Walton.
where
Yeah,
did
after
you
I left
go?
Walton. Yeah, after I left Walton, actually, it was just kind of like a loyal thing to go to University of Hawk, and it was a great experience. Then I went there for 2 years and then transferred to St. John's. And that was like a big dream of mine, growing up, St. John's. It's like it was a dream. I remember, just watching. First of all, I guess John Morton, the one that kind of gave me watching him as a high school player, he gave me the confidence and the sense that I can get it done. He went to Seton Hall. So it's like
Okay.
watching him, I'm like, wow, that's what Seton Hall used to get smacked, though. That's maybe the bottom of the Big East. You know what I mean? But it was always St. John's, and and I think John just kind of put that kind of like in me to kind of like, yo, you can be good, kid. Just keep, working hard. And it kind of like turned out like that. That was like a dream to go to St. John's and win.
Right. So you went to where? You said Hartford?
University of Hartford, yeah.
Right. So how did you get picked up for Hartford? Was all of your recruiting wasn't from Walton? Was it from 5-Star?
Yo, don't talk about that faster. Remember that?
Excuse me. I'm sorry. Yeah, I had to bring that up.
Nah, I guess maybe perhaps that had 5-Star had to be a part of it because we won the championship with 5-Star, being Alonzo Mourning and being an MVP of the game. Remember that? Like,
Yes.
that was just like, I think a boost. But University of Hartford was actually started recruiting me as a sophomore because they actually came to Stevenson game to see Billy Singleton.
Right.
And I was a freshman, I think a freshman or sophomore. They was like, man, we like you. And they started recruiting me, I guess, because Billy wouldn't go to big time anyway to St. John. So it kind of, going there and then having Vin Baker come there, after me and really showed him kind of ropes and probably made him into a pro, basically playing, being with me 1 year, Vin Baker.
Okay. All right. So now you go to St. John's. Your first year, you got Dave Kane there. How was that experience? And tell us, about the journey at St. John's.
Man.
I have a couple of flicks that
Oh man, look at
you
that.
against Alonzo. Dave talking to the famous sweater.
Right.
Lamont going now. I don't. That looks like it's Patrick Ewing, but I don't think Pat was there. Was he?
Nah, that was Alonzo.
That was Alonzo
right
too. Okay.
Yeah, I had to get up quick.
And you still had a little bounce left.
Just
Here you go.
Yes, sir, kid.
So yeah,
Wow.
tell us about all that. The experience and the journey at St. John's.
I think for me, again, a kid just growing up in New York City and dreaming of one day being able to play at the Garden and playing at St. John's University. It was a dream come true for me. It's like you live 2 million people, a kid's dreams that wish they can play at St. John's. So for me to be able to live that and then not just go to St. John's, but win and be cherished by New York City and be a part of that fabric. When you think of St. John, you think of New York City historically, right?
Yes.
You think about St. John, you think, wow, you think about New York City and winning. And to be a part of the winning part, oh man, it could be overwhelming if you're not from New York. Like it was even overwhelming for me. Like everywhere you go was like, you know how it was, cool, just being around us and just imagine that. Like it was like, but it was a dream come true, and just getting an education and being educated, through St. John's was a great opportunity. Being able to get an undergraduate degree and a master's degrees there at St. John's, and just because of basketball has been like a blessing to me. It's really been a blessing. I'm very, thankful for that.
Yeah, yeah. Dave, so how was it playing with Lamont?
That's my dude there, man. We was almost like those Knicks teams of the mid-90s. That was us at St. John's, And it's crazy because we really wasn't cool before we got there. Cause we had a little rival at Walton. And then, I was playing against L in different tournaments, and L dirty and all that, doing what he
You funny, yo.
So, whatever. But then we got to St. John's, we just clicked, man, and that senior year, we just set the tone. He blue collar, I'm blue collar. And that just set the tone, and we just went and got busy, man.
Nice. Now, was Malik on the team that year? Did you play with Malik at all?
Yeah, ahead of me. So
yeah, Malik left the year before.
He graduated 92. Malik graduated 92, and our senior year was 93.
Right.
Okay.
So being with Malik for a couple of years was like, man, St. John's was crazy, man. It was like, again, just being a part of St. John's, man, it's like, like I said, being the fabric of New York City, everybody love you. Everybody, everywhere you go, it's like much love.
Right. Because I remember hanging out with you a couple of times at, when we used to go back in days, go to different spots and stuff. I always thought I was with the mayor, man. Lamont was like the mayor. Everybody knew Lamont. I ain't care where we was at. Yo, L train. Yo, meal ticket. Oh, yeah, I'm like this. Damn, man, you might as well be the mayor.
But that is cool. A lot of times, like I tell, I express that to my kids too, because I be with my kids and sometimes they be like, damn, Dad, we can't go nowhere. People say, I'm like, sometimes, people may not like you, but if they respect you, man, they're gonna give you your love. You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah.
And that's what it is a lot of times. It's like people just respect what you're about and they're gonna give you love.
Right. So St. John's senior year, y'all played in the Big East tournament. Tell me that big time experience in your last hurrah.
Oh, let me talk about that first, Dave. That year we was rolling. That year, we shocked everybody because they had us placed like at the bottom of the Big East that year because Coach tried to second retire and everybody left. So they was like, "Oh, that team not gonna be that good." Yo, we shocked everybody, man. We had like a piece of the Big East, like a three-way tie between us, Georgetown, and Seton Hall. It was a three-way tie, and it was just crazy how me and Dave kind of like we had Rowan Barrett, RJ Barrett Pops, Charles Midland, Chanel was with us, Derek Brown. We had like a great group of guys, and me and Dave were just, we were just the leaders. I have everybody come to my house. I'm cooking and and having fun, and we were just a real good team. Go to bowling together, movies together, and me and Dave just kind of just laid it out. And we almost got to the damn Sweet 16 that year.
Mm-hmm. But yo, the crazy part about that Big East tournament, and I'm surprised you forgot this, L. You got hurt in the Big East tournament and couldn't play, and that's how we lost to Syracuse in the semifinals because you got hurt.
I got hurt against before that against Boston College. Man,
Boston College.
I got like a hip
something. And they was like, yo, send him out so he can be ready for the NCAA tournament. And we lost to Syracuse in the semifinals.
We lost to Redding, and we lost to Redding.
And we swept them that year, too. We swept them that year.
And we smacked them that year, yup.
Yeah, and they got us in the tournament because you didn't play.
Whoa. I didn't even play. I couldn't even play, but I couldn't even play, but we smacked Conrad and Red. You know, I'm talking mad smack to them. Like, yeah. They used to hate, like, okay, hell talking junk. Like, yeah. What? I couldn't do nothing. I couldn't even.
Everybody hated L.
Can I ask a question?
Yes,
L and Kane, Dave. Well, y'all co-captains of the team that year? Y'all team
Yeah.
Okay.
It's funny, right? You know, as much as me and Lonzo used to go at it, I remember Malik came back from like the draft. Like they had some draft thing, like some they had. He was like, "Yo, L, Lonzo asked me about you. Lonzo asked me about you." He was like, "Yo, how L doing?" I was like, "Yo, as much as you know, me and Jerry Walker used to be the same way, just battling, same way, off the court."
Yeah. Cool. Right. So St. John's is over. What did you do next?
I think I was blessed to be able to play a couple of years overseas, and I think also with that understanding when there's an exit plan and kind of prepare myself for life after basketball. But I always knew kind of idea of what I want to do and what I want to get into, and kind of like had an exit plan and knew when I'm going to transition, because I'm like, when I got hurt playing in Australia, I'm like, this may be the time to have an exit plan. So, but I think I tried a couple of years after that. I played like, a few more years, but I just knew, it's time for me to hang it up and get into, what I really want to do, and went back to St. John's and got a master's degree in, in the criminal justice field. And now, I'm in IT.
Dave, what did you do after your senior year?
After my senior year, I tried out with the Knicks. I made it to the last cut. Then I went to the CBA for a hot minute, but just a lot of politics, and being young, you just start learning the business side of that game and the politics. So after I did that, I just shut it down after that, man, because I felt like I was chasing a moving target, and it wasn't just based on the basketball ability no more. And I wasn't cool with that. And I just, like El said, I just transitioned early, to that next phase of life and kept it moving.
Well, I'm sorry to bring something up, because neither one of you guys shut nothing down after you tried playing overseas, because you played in the street ball, EBC, NBA. To me, that was the NBA. Because, now let's talk about that, because y'all had a stacked crew out there, and I think y'all took it at least 2 years in a row.
Yeah, we took it one, and we was undefeated the next year, but we lost in the playoffs. But let me tell you the crazy story about that, right? we playing with X-Men, my man Pop in my hood, whatever. So usually in our neighborhood tournament, I play with my block 12th Street, Pop is 13th Street. So the night before the ruckus start, I see Predator. Predator like, yo, you playing with us tomorrow? I'm like, I don't even know what he's talking about. I'm like, what you talking about, Fred? He's like, yo, it's 55th. I'm like, man, I don't know what you're talking about. I go to 13th, I go see Pop. Like, yo, you got a team in 55th, you ain't holler at me? He's like, nah, I said, man, that's down here on the block, but we take it out the block and then we together. So long story short, once I get down, now I'm in GMO, yo L, yo Lee, now I'm making my calls to round our team out, and I'm putting it together according to our chemistry, what works, and we went up there first year and won the chip that year, yo. Word.
Wasn't it 3 years in a row we won it like twice?
Nah, we didn't win twice. We won it. Then the next year we came back stacked up with Train, Gordon, all them. We went undefeated, and then we lost on a buzzer shot in the playoffs. I think shout out to Reem. Reem
Kareem
Reed,
is
he
all
hit a
right.
shot,
Kareem, man.
and we lost in the playoffs. But we was undefeated through that whole. We was running through everything, and we
Right.
lost that playoff game though.
Kareem,
So we
Eric
won it once,
Barkley.
and then it was just 2 years, and then after that, I think it went corporate after that with the record labels and all that type of
Right.
stuff. So.
And that's when I think 55th went downhill. I know it was about a money thing and all that, but when they let them hustlers had that tournament, man, the hustlers was getting the players. They was the funny thing is y'all didn't have no pros. I mean, you had pros, but you know what I mean.
Us one time, Sam Cassell played us, right, Dave?
Nah, he was with us. I don't think he suited up with us, but he was just because him and Los was cool like that. But I think what happened is when they went corporate, what happened is this from what I gathered, guys was like, yo, they was asking people to take their shoes off to come in the park, and that was too much right there. He was like, yo, I'm not doing that. We don't even do that to go to the garden. I'm not doing that. And now it started going. It wasn't like community based no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And to me, it kind of like they was getting all the corporate, like the NBA TV and all that, but it was turning all the local, all the community stuff, people off. That it was like, man, I ain't going up there. I ain't going through all that hassle to get in the park. And I think it went downhill at that point.
It wasn't fun because the competition became kind of like watered down. Before, the competition was like personal, you know what I mean? And then I think when they just turned the corner, the competition, it wasn't worth playing. It wasn't worth us playing against nobody, you know what I mean? Because when we used to play, it was like, yo, it was personal. Every game was like personal.
Yeah,
right.
Then it turned to who can get the most pros. Like we getting this, that, and I didn't even mind that as far as the comp. But you really couldn't even get like your team. And like I was playing the 55th because that was my man who had a team. So once it wasn't about that no more, I'm like, it's whatever. I'm good, and just kept it moving.
Right. I know for a fact. I used to hang out with y'all. I was the number one supporter on the team. I was always at the games, and I was at the after party of the games too, down on your block, Dave.
Yeah. It was some nice after joints.
Oh boy, let me tell you now, boy.
Everybody know 14th and Linux. Just meet me in the park.
There you go. That's right.
We're gonna spread love with everybody.
That's true.
We're going to spread love with all our crew. Yo, we're going to spread love.
Yeah. We be in the park 30, 40 deep. Yep. Buy the chicken wing joint out, go to get our drinks, and we going to have some music, and we good.
That's right.
Word.
But yeah, so, L, what you doing now? What do you basketball's over?
Doing some IT stuff, IT engineer.
Okay.
So I kind of like was running my business for the last few years. But when COVID came, it kind of like had to kind of recreate myself. So, I just nerded up and, got a certificate in, IT engineering, and that's what I'm doing now. And I'm just going to continue to just focus that way because it's fun. It's an area where I think a lot of people from our community should really focus on.
Okay.
It's not enough of us in that field, but it's a great opportunity to make a big difference and really be able to support your family.
Right. Dave, so what you doing now?
Well, I work for the school district in the boy Ed. I work with the special needs kids, actually kids with autism and all that type of thing. So I do that, and then I also do my own little personal business, little real estate here and there. Other little business ventures, but my main thing is with the school district with the special need kids, though.
Okay. Well, I want to thank all you guys that came on the show tonight because, we had a real good time because, L is a special guy, Dave is a special guy, and my man John is special, you know what I'm saying? And I knew all of these guys ever since I was young. We all played together, played against each other, and, and it was just a really great show. And I really appreciate you guys taking the time out for just coming on and chopping it up and having, normal conversations that we would have if we saw each other tomorrow. You know what I'm saying?
Same thing. You already know, man. So, love is love.
No doubt. If y'all want to leave any information that people can find you, go ahead and leave it. If not, I want to thank y'all again. And shouts out to everybody that tuned into the show tonight. And thanks for tuning in. And this is On the Road Again. And every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, y'all can check me out on the road again. It's me, Super Dave, and World Famous. My two partners, they were sick today, so they caught the COVID, but they doing well. They
Bless
it's
us,
a
Lord.
little
Bless us, Lord.
nasal situation. But we usually have 3 segments of the show. We have one segment is world's famous trending foods and places. And then we have Super Dave's Fragrance of the Week.
Ooh,
So,
like that, like that.
when y'all check out next week, you'll be able to check that out. Also, coming up on the 19th, we got my man that was hosting today, Hollywood Hen. His True Gentleman Cooking show is
Okay.
going to be on the road again January 19th. So check that out. He's going to do a special dish live, and y'all check it out. We'll also have those other segments part of the show. And like I said, guys, man, thanks very much for tuning in, and thanks for being a part of the show.
No doubt, man.
No doubt.
Have
Take
a
it
true
easy.
year,
L, I'll
man.
holler at you, L. Y'all
Thanks
take
for
it
the
easy.
invite,
man.
fool.
Dom,
Thanks for the
I did it,
invite.
man.
You
Later.
know
Much
it.
love and
Good
respect.
seeing you out.
No doubt. Good
Good
seeing
hearing from
y'all.
you.
Yes,
Good
sir.
hearing from you, Dave.
Definitely. Check us out, man. We gonna be here working, man. So check us out.
No
All
doubt.
right.
All right, peace, y'all.
All right. Peace.